Minister George Brown of the ministry Redeeming the Broken, or Deliverance from Darkness to Light. In this video, I want to talk with you about Jesus' encounter with the Samaritan woman at Jacob's well. It is taken from chapter 4 in the scriptures. When Jesus learned that the Pharisees had heard he was gaining and baptizing more disciples than John, though he actually was not actually baptizing, he left Judah and returned to Galilee. On the day he had to pass through Samaria, he came to a town named Sychar, near the land Jacob had given to his son Joseph. Jacob's well was there, and Jesus, weary from the journey, sat down beside it, and it was around noon. A Samaritan woman came to draw water, and Jesus said to her, "Would you give me a drink?" His disciples had gone into town to buy food. The woman replied, "You are a Jew. I am a Samaritan woman. How can you ask me for a drink? Jews don't associate with Samaritans." Jesus answered her, "If you knew the gift of God and who is asking you for a drink, you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water." She said, "Sir, you have nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. Where would you get this living water? Are you greater than our ancestor Jacob, who gave us this well and drank from it himself, along with his sons and livestock?" Jesus replied, "Everyone who drinks this water will be thirsty again. But whoever drinks the water I give will never thirst. In fact, it will become a spring within them, welling up to eternal life." The woman was excited. She said, "Sir, give me this water so I won't have to get thirsty and have to come here to draw." Jesus told her, "Go call your husband and come back." She replied, "I have no husband," she said. "You're right," Jesus replied. "You had 5 husbands, and the man you are with now is not your husband. You have spoken truthfully." "Sir," the woman said, "I see you are a prophet. Our ancestors worshiped on this mountain, but you Jews say Jerusalem is the place of worship." Jesus responded, "Believe me, a time is coming when worship won't be confined to this mountain or Jerusalem. You Samaritans worship what you don't know. We worship what we do know. For salvation comes from through the Jews. But the time is coming, and is now, when true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth. These are the kinds of worshipers the Father seeks. God is spirit, and his worshipers must worship him in spirit and in truth." The woman said, "I know the Messiah is coming, the one called Christ. When he comes, he'll explain everything." Jesus said to her, "I am the one speaking to you. I'm he." Notice he did not crush her spirit by judging her. No, Jesus is offering her deliverance from darkness. It's a good example for each and every one of us to strive to help others. This teaches us not to be judges of others' wrong or their lifestyle, but to be understanding with one another that we be able to help one another get through some dark times in their lives. If you believe as I do, and I know you do, that darkness comes to all of us. All of us at some point will go through a storm in our life. Because Paul said it in the scriptures that we will go through trials of life. I believe sometimes that these things come for us to be able to overcome, that we'll be stronger. But to overcoming, we need the help of one another. Sometimes to focus up to the true one who can help us, and that is Jesus Christ. He is the one who can give us what we need. But sometimes the burden is so heavy, we can't look up. We are beat down. And crisis in our life. Death comes. Critical things in our life happen. Car wrecks, all kind of things that put us in a storm. But I know a man who was on a ship one night with his disciples. He was tired and he went to the bottom of the ship to lay down, and he was laying his head on a pillow. And a violent storm arose. You know, a storm, it don't always come with a clap of thunder. It don't always, it just appears sometimes. And the wind was blowing and the lightning was flashing and the water was rough, the sea was rough. And they were so afraid. And what they decided to do was go down in the ship and wake Jesus up. Sometimes we need to wake Jesus up in our life, but we need help waking him up. Let's see his response. Jesus went up on the deck of the ship and waved his hand and said, "Water and wind, peace, be still." And everything became calm. Don't you know he can do the same in our life today if we can just get him up on our ship? He's in the boat with us. He's in the hospital room with us. He's in the, when we go to bury our loved ones, he's with us. Through all of our steps in life, Jesus is right there. But you know what? To some of us that seems too simple. That I can just call upon him and he will respond to me. He responded to this woman. She said, "I know that the Messiah is coming and he will explain everything." And Jesus looked at her and said, "I, the one speaking to you, am he. I'm the one you've been waiting for." Let me ask you. Jesus, he sees you, he speaks to you, and Jesus offers you grace that overflows. If this story spoke to your heart, share it with someone who needs hope. Subscribe to this channel for more stories of grace and healing and truth. And my dear friends, in the comment section, if you would, leave me the answer to this question. Where did Jesus meet you? Join this ministry. Let's grow it together. Let's help one another get through these storms in their life, because it's going to be rough times coming up now. Food is short. Grocery shelves are empty. Prices are exceptionally high. People have children to feed. People need to buy milk for babies. It's going to be some turbulent times now. There's going to be some storm. This wind that we're talking about that was blowing that night on the ship. There are going to be violent winds and violent storms now because of what we are facing. We're going to need to get one another together so we can hear Jesus say, "Peace, be still." I'm Minister George Brown. Peace.